Do you drink alcohol?
No.
Smoke weed?
No,
Anything?
never did anything.
Really?
I am the most boring cat in the world.
No, that's
I was
incredible.
a designated driver. Like when I was 15, everybody I knew would be drunk and stuff at gigs, and I'd make sure everybody got home and stuff. And I was around so much negative stuff, people on bad acid trips, people on heroin, and a singer that was our lead singer in a band I was in died of a meth overdose. And I just saw all this negative stuff, and I went, why would I want to do this? I'm too much of a control freak. I think if I was to get high, I'd fight it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just easier to be, but I was never judgmental about it. If people can do what they want, I just didn't want to see people hurting themselves.
Yep. And also, I don't think that's boring at all. I think a lot of kids and younger artists are catching on to that. Like, even when they come in the studio, it's not like party time or, maybe someone smokes a little weed, but other than that, it's, you don't see blow or it's, I want to have a good life. And, how you live in your 20s is how you're going to be in your 30s, 40s, and onward. And look at you. You're, healthy, playing sessions every day, doing a YouTube channel. If you had drank your whole life.
Oh, no, I wouldn't be. I probably wouldn't be sitting here.
Exactly.
Yeah. You talk to Luke, about how he feels about what he did back in his days of drinking and stuff as compared to how he performs and plays now. He was always a great player because I think he's one of those guys that was always going to be a great player. But just when he's there, with you, it's the best. You don't want to be dealing with this guy who, next thing you know, he's going to be hanging over your shoulder and you're going to be carrying him back to his hotel room.
Yeah, you lose too. That's when you booze, you lose. I think alcohol is just a demon. No, I've actually quit drinking 5 years ago as well. And my dad too. He committed suicide in 2009.
Oh Jesus!
I'm from Chicago, and that was 80s. And then in the 90s, he got into real estate development and did very well. And then the crash of 2009 destroyed him. He was going through 3 divorces and had drinking issues, and my grandma was a very bad alcoholic and never got her license. But I identified that when I was like 35. I was like, I'm done with this shit. I was just done. I was talking to Luke about that, and Jeff Jampole, who kind of helped me with some things. He manages the Doors estates and stuff. But it's just balance with anything. It's
hard, man.
Work,
life
food,
is really
sex.
hard when it's going perfect.
Yeah.
So when you start adding all these other things to the equation, I was so glad when Luke finally cleaned up because it was so hard being around him. There were times that I thought he was going to be killed just because he was being so horrible.
Yep.
And I ended up a lot of times, like when I was out with Toto on the first tour I did with them, he'll just come back and say, if it wasn't for you, I don't think I would have made it through the tour because I always had his back.
Yep.
Because we're about 10 years apart. I think he just turned like 66 or something like that, and I'm going to be 77. So he would just lean on me all the years. But when he finally just called it, I'm done with all. Especially seeing Mike dying and Jeff dying, and so many of the cats have died, and you just go. You got young kids, man. Your older kids they got their lives, but you got little kids too. So be here for them. Don't fuck this all up.
Yep. And also, things just get better. I'm dealing with an artist right now who's a very bad alcohol problem. She's a girl, and when you're like 26, you think a certain way, but when you're 32, you think a completely different way.
Yeah.
And when you're 40, it's like.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out and sit down for a little bit. It's like things that matter then don't matter, 8 years later, or even 3. And it's like when you're 27, your brain is finally fully developed at that point.
Yeah.
It's like these kids are 20 years old and they have no idea what's in store. And it's a ride. And I'm sure through, you're 73?
76.
Yeah. You've learned so much and experienced so much. And, to love somebody or to, my father, when he committed suicide, that was one of the worst things I could have ever experienced. None of that stuff matters. It's the little things like coming in the studio and remembering special moments, or when you heard a song, it's the little intricacies of life that are like, make it the most beautiful, special, worthwhile thing. And this studio coming in my life at a certain point, I love Sunset Sound. People come in here, and I always say this, and we can start the interview right now. people come into Sunset Sound and their lives are changed inside here. They save up enough money to do a demo session. They got a green light from a label to on their budget. People come and work here, and they start as a runner.
Yeah.
Like Mike Persanti, he was the hardest working runner. T-Bone Burnett picked him up, and now he's got 20 Grammys.
Yeah.
It's like without Sunset Sound, a lot of these things wouldn't be possible.
It was fertile grounds here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people that have played on records for 5 decades like you have, it's like you've seen so much change, but this place just stays on the same block.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's really great. This is really a kind of the Rock of Gibraltar here.
Yeah.